Ditka's turning the economy around.
How's that? Listen and learn.
He's just physically turning it around. He's that strong.
Stupid question.
State Farm's Fantasy Football Double Down Challenge.
Welcome back to the Channel 4 News. As always, I'm Ron Burgundy. Danny Fry here with a special Halloween edition of The Rush. On this week's episode, we'll bring you highlights from the senior night football game against Springfield, along with a preview of the Titans' Week 1 matchup against Peoria Notre Dame. In addition to a double dose of volleyball highlights, also on the program, the thrilling soccer regional final against Jacksonville, along with the Class 2A sectional semifinal against Marion. Besides all of those in-depth highlights, The Rush has other features you don't want to miss. So, San Diego, let's start the program with Coach Rourke here and the football Titans taking on Springfield High on senior night. You guys were heading in at 6-2, and Coach, you guys were looking to improve your playoff position with a win to make you 7-2.
That was the going in. That was what we were trying to stress to the kids is that hey, we need to win this ball game. And Springfield, 3-5 team was I think pretty good 3-5 team. And I'm not sure we played our best, but we were able to win the ball game and improve to 7-2.
Yeah, they really were a solid 3-5 team, and coming off the hard-fought game against SHG, what were you stressing the team to focus on that final regular season game?
Each game is a new game, and that's the deal. I think it's just like in a lot of sports. You've got to, if something bad happens, you've got to forget about it and move on. You lose a ball game, you got to forget about it and move on. You drop a pass, you've got to forget about it, catch the next one. You have a bad swing in golf, you got to have a good swing the next time. So,
Exactly. You just got to all move on to the next game. And talk about Forrest Sexton, senior defensive lineman, and he won the Chris Hughes Award. Talk a little bit about that award and how Forrest has played this year.
Well, Forrest has done a great job for us this year on both sides of the ball. He's starts at defensive tackle, and he also plays some offensive line for us. And he does a great job of blocking, great job of playing defense, and he's a big part of our team in his senior year. He won the Chris Hughes Award this past week. Which he's a good teammate, does a good job with his job. He loves life. It's part of what the award gives you, which basically with Forrest, Forrest's goal is he wants to open up I think a bar and grill actually, and sports bar type of thing. And he's putting his menu together, and
he's already doing that.
He's already doing that.
Yeah, he already
planning for the future.
Well, now let's plan ahead and look at the senior night highlight when the Titans took on the Springfield High Senators, a very tough 3-5 team, Coach, and talk about the seniors, coming out, and we'll start here with a solid punt return from Cody Johnson. He's really improved over the years. He takes this to the 11-yard line. Yep,
he catches the ball and gets it upfield, and that's what you do in a punt return.
He's really improved over the years, really getting playing time in his senior year now.
Yes. Cody is he's learned a lot. He had a great summer, and he's doing a great job for us.
Unfortunately, the Titans can't make anything out of being in the red zone on that return. This pass a little short to the intended receiver, Zach Layden, who slipped there from Menitis, turnover on downs.
Matt Menitis has been doing a great job for us. Made a lot of great passes. That wasn't one of them.
No score at the end of the first quarter, and in the second quarter, really throughout the game, senior Austin Bell wreaked havoc in the Springfield backfield right there, tackling Tony Williams.
And that's what we need Austin to do for us, is wreak some havoc.
Now, Daniel Helm, we'll talk about a little after. He was banged up, had a sprained hip flexor, suffered in the first quarter. He was out the rest of the game, but Matt Benitis, about his main target, Helm was able to find number 39, J.D. Rush, for a gain of 39 yards, and then able to punch it in for you guys as the bull, Tyler DeRozier, from about a yard out, Coach.
Yeah, did a nice job. And Matt made a nice pass, and J.D. ran up the sideline, and Tyler was able to finish it for us.
7-0 GHS with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and here's Brenton Wilkie in the final minute. He's off to the races passes there and 54-yard run, Coach, and he had an opening there.
He's a good football player. He was good for them last year, and he hurt us this year also.
Now, we'll look at this. Some trickeration on the reverse pass. It's receiver Colton Eilers to Brenton Wilkie to get Springfield High on the board.
Yeah. Never should have happened. We got to play better football than that. And in that situation, we should have been better prepared.
Bad snap on the extra point, though. Glenwood led 7-6 at the half. And then you guys really turned to the running game. Typical Glenwood football, just hard running there from Josh Talley and Tyler DeRozier all in the second half. Capped off here an 8-minute drive here. Great job.
Yeah, we had some guys injured. Of course, Daniel was out for a while, and Coswell wasn't playing, and we had to, and we just went to our offensive line and said, hey, take us home. And those guys and running backs did a great job along with our defense.
Right here, SHS, they had their chances, but stepping up, incomplete pass on fourth down. The defensive line blew up the play, and then you guys were able to tuck it off to guys like J.D. Rush. What a hard, tough junior runner.
Yeah, J.D. did a nice job. Tally did a nice job for us, and those guys have both come back next year, and that's a good deal.
Now able to punch it up the middle there is J.D. Rush. Titans win 20-6. They really ran out the clock really in the second half, wearing down Springfield High. Titans defeat Springfield High on senior night 20-6. Here's some post-game sound.
Yeah, you know, the first half, I don't know what happened. I think maybe the weather got to us a little bit. We had a few players out. Daniel went out early in the first half, but we went into the locker room, got some warmth in there, and we just said, hey, this is senior night, and we just need to start playing Titan football, no matter what the circumstances are. And then, you know, the offensive linemen, they got their job done. The running back started running hard, and we just did Titan football, just ground the ball out and got the victory.
Bittersweet, for sure. You know, I love coming out here playing with my buds. You know, it was great to get the win, but, you know, it really kind of sucks knowing this might be the last time we play on this field.
I think it was in the back of our minds, yeah. You know, you don't want to back into the playoffs. You know, you want to go into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. And I think at halftime, yeah, we talked about that a little bit, that, you know, we need to go into the playoffs knowing that, you know, we won our last game and we didn't have any troubles. And that second half was completely different.
So, Coach, another interesting thing happened over the weekend, though, with the Rochester Rockets having to forfeit their win back in week 2, their 38-33 win over Sacred Heart Griffin, because a group of football moms put money towards for rings for 3 players, and they exceeded the IHSA's limit. Now, Coach, that gave a win to SHG, moving them to undefeated and one of the top seeds in the lower part of the Class 5A playoffs, and that sort of shook up the whole playoff seeding in that lower part of the bracket.
Right. The way in which that affects us is, in a nutshell, is that if we can get by Peoria and Notre Dame, we would play SHG in the second round. Yes. Which we would probably have played them in the third round had that situation not occurred at Rochester.
Yeah, and SHG plays Peoria Richwoods in their first round game as well on Friday night, I believe, over at West Campus. But now moving to our playoff matchup, 1 o'clock at Peoria Stadium. It's a real stadium there in Peoria. It's a good deal for you guys to play there. What does P&D look like? How are you guys trying to defend that run game they got? Right,
they as you're seeing on the video right now, they're a power team. They like to run the football. They've got some good running backs. They do a good job up front. They beat Rock Island, the Rocks, who are a 6A team, and it was 8-0 going in the game. They beat them in overtime in week 9. They beat them in overtime 35-34. Yeah. So, you know, it's going to be a big test for us.
It really is, and they were a team that was actually 4A last year, and Rochester was able to get by them at Peoria Stadium, I believe, in the quarterfinals. But still a tough matchup because they've really played those teams, like you mentioned, 6A teams like Rock Island. They also played 4A power Rock Island Alleman.
Right, and Rock Island Alleman was able to get by them. They beat them, I think, 11-9, a strange score. But they've got a good football team, and you know, we're going to have to come out and play our very best to get by them.
Yeah, and to defend that run, defensive or actually offensively, you guys are trying to look past that P&D defense. You guys shifted to a running game in the second half of the Springfield High game, but you're trying to work Benitez with Daniel Helm hopefully being back.
Well, you know, and Daniel was banged up in that game. He will be back. You know, I'm not sure if he's going to be 100% back and be able to play as much. We're going to have to just watch that as we go. Sure. You know, we've got some other guys. Tyler DeRozier, I don't think Tyler's going to be able to play this week. Yeah, that was my next question, is about how are we looking banged up wise to come out.
You
know, Coslow's a little bit banged up. You know, we've got some, you know, we got some guys in week 10. That's the way it is. You got guys who are showing some wear and tear, and that's when that depth comes in, and that's probably not one of our stronger points is our depth this year. But
some of the guys having to play both ways.
Right. You got guys playing both sides of football. So, you know, we're going to come out. We've been practicing all week, preparing, watching videotape, and showing them what we're going to see. And hopefully we'll come out Saturday, and everybody's going to feel good, and we're going to play well.
Okay, we'll leave you on that, Coach. Thanks for coming on. Good luck against the Peoria Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Thank you.
The 7-2 Titans, they're the 9 seed in the South Quadrant of the Class 5A football playoffs and travel up to Peoria to face the 7-2 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Peoria Stadium. Last Thursday, the Lady Titans volleyball team wrapped up their 3-night homestand with senior night against the Rochester Lady Rockets. Let's check out the highlight from senior night. Lady Titans there with their parents on the final home game. And in the first set, a Rochester serve. Senior Katie Hudson, the libero in that set with the dig. Lade Adeniyi over to Hannah Phillips. This one is blocked. Allison Long tips it, but still falls over for the Rochester point. Here is Hannah Phillips with the Glenwood serve. A return by Rochester and a diving save here by the senior Phillips. She was all over the place, and she two-hands it over. And then later in the play, Lade Adeniyi knocks it over for the Titan point. And what a save right here. Katie Hudson reaching across her body. Sammy Long over to Hannah Phillips. And eventually here, Hudson's effort is going to result in a Glenwood point after a Rochester violation. And the Titans lost game 1, 25-21. They were on their game in the second set with an ace from Allison Long. Titans unfortunately lose the game 2-1. Allison Long, 12 digs, and Milligan of Rochester with 16 kills. After the match of the Rockets, Glenwood played in the Quincy Notre Dame volleyball tournament, which helped the Titans prep for the Lady Raiders Monday night in the play-in game of the Class 3A Lanphier Regional. Let's check out the highlight. The Titans against Quincy Notre Dame. This is the 4 and 5 matchup. The Titans with the 5 seed against the Lady Raiders. QND serve hit by Phillips, set up by Reljic to Sadie Stone, but that's tapped out by QND for the Glenwood point. Here off of a QND serve, Nicole Hochstein with the dig, and Kate Reljic is going to set up Cassidy Sheedy. And eventually QND is able to work it back and forth in this third set where we pick up the action here. That goes out of bounds, and those mistakes really hurt the Titans in this regional. They catch a break of a return into the net by QND though. Not many of those mistakes by QND, and look at this diving save. QND has a setter going to San Diego, and Sammy Long to Sadie Stone, but Lady Rays just kept fighting all game. Eventually Hochstein over to Tosin Adeniyi, who picks up the Titan point. She's heading to UConn, and here is eventually a Raider serve to Tosi, and Stone will send it wide though, wide to the right for the Raider point. They took advantage of these Glenwood mistakes all game. QND takes the match 2-0. QND took game 1 25-11 and won took game 1 25-20 and won the second game 25-11. Hannah Phillips 6 kills, Allison Long with 4 digs. It was a well-fought season by the Lady Titans and a team full of seniors, including Tosin Adeniyi, who will be continuing her volleyball career next year at the University of Connecticut. And now it's time for a quick commercial break as I look for Baxter. But the Rush will be right back with postseason soccer highlights and much, much more. Stay locked into the Rush. Fat Willie's in Chatham is a great family restaurant that supplies a wonderful dining experience. We offer outstanding fried chicken and over-the-top Walayan pizza. With quality products at affordable prices, Fat Willie's is the way to go. Open Monday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to midnight. Call us today at 217-483-6969. Back to the Rush. After rolling past Taylorville 10-1, the Glenwood Soccer Titans had a tough test in front of them for the Class 2A Glenwood Regional crown. Now here's a guest anchor to help break down the Jacksonville soccer highlights and Marion soccer highlights is Glenwood Assistant Soccer Coach Tommy Johnson.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Dan.
Coach, thanks for coming on. And what was the preparation for Jacksonville, a team you guys beat earlier in the season in Jacksonville 3-1?
Well, Jacksonville, they're just a very solid team. They're physical. They play very direct. For some reason, we've always had a curse on them. They haven't won a big game against us since, like, I think in the early 90s. But that's
about with football as well.
It's a scary deal, but they had junior number 23 that they didn't have against us. Granted, we had Isaac Albrecht back as well and Vince Raby. But really, honestly, we worked on winning balls out of the air, getting up on them early, especially in the postseason. And the guys, the first half they did a tremendous job.
How physical of a game were you guys expecting there against Jacksonville? Hammering them in the first half.
Right. And mainly, they playing direct to their forwards. We'd like to especially with Isaac winning the balls out of the air. And we did a pretty good job at that. We got really excited about midway through that first half when you had, I think, 4 goals in a matter of a 10-minute period. But
let's take a look at that right now. The Titans and the Crimsons for the Class 2A Chatham Regional title here, and Brock Tober's going to get a penalty kick here. And what happened here? Jacksonville is not happy.
I tell you what, I mean, any team in this situation is going to be not happy, but bottom line is a foul from behind like that, he took Brock out from behind, it's going to be a penalty kick. And it was the right call, and Brock is very dominant from that position, and we got very fortunate to get up on him early, but it didn't last, but I think maybe a minute and 10 seconds, and Jacksonville, I believe Albers came back. And
Ryan Mays with Compton in the corner got it out to Stephen Albers.
And it's 1-1 within a minute and a half later. And
skip ahead about 5 minutes. Here come the Crimsons again, and again it's Stephen Albers with the go-ahead goal there, and Jacksonville's up 2-1 all of a sudden. Momentum shifting.
Boy, give them a lot of wow. It's unbelievable right there, 2-1, and
back and forth. Free kick here for Brock Tober, and he laces that in to tie the game up.
You know, Danny, Brock, he just knows how to find the goal in that situation, and credit to him. He's been practicing on a daily basis with that, and it's
that tied the single-season Glenwood goal record at 28 at that point. You guys really take advantage of Jacksonville mistakes early in the second half. Here's another PK, and Tober gives Glenwood the lead here, and he breaks the single-season scoring record, and Glenwood will hold on to win 3-2. Coach, once you guys pulled ahead.
You know, it's like I said, with 7 minutes to go in that first half, and that was all the scoring that happened there, Danny. So
let's take a here at some post-game sound.
All the conditions were right that it could go either way, and to Jacksonville's credit, they gave us a tough game, and I'm real proud of our kids pulling it out.
Jacksonville's a very good team. They got some very good players, very strong on the attacking side for sure. Put a lot of pressure on us. Fortunate to get some breaks on some set pieces and get some goals.
Brock is a goal scorer, and they did a good job marking Luke Rectenwall up man-to-man today, and Luke got free a few times, but you can't leave Brock open either. That's what really hopefully will pay off for us. We got those 2 guys that can score some big goals.
Who's that ugly guy there?
Back on the set here, Coach, and describe how a back-and-forth game like that against Jackson, you talk about all the crazy scoring, describe how that would help you guys in the sectionals.
Well, I tell you what, especially with the postseason, man, you want to jump on teams early, and they had the back and forth, and that's what we tried to do. Don't let the time expire, and that first half was put together extremely well. Second half, I think we had a little lull, but we still, at this point in the season, man, a win's a win. And that win was a big factor on Saturday afternoon as well. So, but on first half, I'm proud of the guys' efforts, and at this point, you just get to move on. So
now you guys rematched with a Marion team, a team down south, Southern Illinois Soccer. They upset you guys last year in the Mattoon sectional semifinal. What was going to be different other than that playing surface?
Yeah, and the playing surface, it was bad for both teams. Yeah. But we were last season. You just saw the it was 0-0, and you saw the time just ticking away, and just a little complacency, I think. But this year it wasn't the case. I mean, even the pregame warm-up, guys were communicating, and the urgency was, you just saw it right away. And we got up on them, 3 goals in the first, I think, 20 minutes or so. So especially just getting up on them early, and their confidence was shattered, and hats off to our guys for that.
Let's go and take a look at the highlights here. Courtesy of Glenwood goalie coach Greg Leip. Want to thank him for donating not just 1 but 2 angles here. Right off the bat, Marion gets a shot here, and Zach Mazzara is able to bat it up.
And he batted away, and they had a couple chances early, and that's really all they had, and we come back here at the 11-minute mark and found Noah Johnson here with the put in early.
He punches it past. It's 1-0 in the first half. 2 minutes later, Brock Tober's going to put it past the Marion goalkeeper here for his 30th goal of the season. Glenwood up 2-0.
Yeah, he put it on his left foot in that position. He's going to find the net. He is going to make him pay, and he sure did.
Look at all these moves here from number 18, Luke Rechtenwall. Here pretty much on his own. Here's the attempt past the goalkeeper. Titans up 3-0. His senior year, Luke Rechtenwall, has been great.
Boy, Luke, he takes guys on, and he gets out of some positions that, I have no idea how he did it. But between him and Brock up top, they played it well together, and boy, did it show on that night there.
Eventually later, another penalty kick for Tober in the upper right-hand corner, upper 90, and that put GHS up 4-0. Glenwood up 4-0 at the half. This attempt by Tober is off, and Glenwood wins 4-0 against Marion. Tober with 2 goals, Luke Rechtenwall with a goal and assist as the Titans advance to the sectional championship. And Coach, how was it playing in the rain? You saw those conditions there on the film.
Like the first half was, you had all the goals scored in the first half. Second half, you get the water in the shoes and the rain, the mist, and it gets tougher to play. Your touch gets off, but like I said, we just held them off. Just held them off that second half and got that win.
Yeah.
So.
What were you guys expecting? You guys will play the Triad Knights, and they have about 2 guys up top who are really strong for Triad. What were you expecting?
They do. They've got a guy number 10 is his number. He scored a lot of their goals, but with Triad's field, it's a little bit narrower. They like to play direct. There's a guy up top, number 11, that plays well with him, and if we can shut those guys down, not let 10 turn, I think we're going to be okay. Absolutely.
And that will be in Troy. And everyone should make the trip down
Friday night at 5 o'clock.
That's right. Coach, thanks for coming on and giving me some more insight here.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Okay.
The Titans travel down south again to Troy to face the Triad Knights for the Class 2A Troy Triad Sectional Championship, with their eyes on the Class 2A Super Sectional, which would be here at GHS Tuesday night. But the Titans travel down to play Troy Triad tonight at 5. Moving from the soccer field to the cross-country course, both boys and girls cross-country teams headed to Jacksonville in the Class 2A Jacksonville XC Regional. Let's take a quick look at the results, starting here with our first results that are the boys. Landon Skelly, he finished first there for the Titans with a time of 15:06. These results are in order from how they finished in order with the Titans. So first on the team is Landon Skelly, and then Demi Dixon, she ended up placing in the top 5 in the meet, first for the Titans with a time of 18:10. As a team, the boys team finished second out of 9 teams and earned the regional title. Placing first out of 9 teams were the girls teams. And both Glenwood cross-country teams will run in the Class 2A Decatur Sectional at Hickory Point Golf Course. And now it's time for the final commercial break of the show. When the rush returns, Eric Berklow will have the top 3. Also keep it right here for the weekly debate, all after a word from our fine sponsors. Fat Willie's in Chatham is a great family restaurant that supplies a wonderful dining experience. We offer outstanding fried chicken and over-the-top walleye pizza. With quality products at affordable prices, Fat Willie's is the way to go. Open Monday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to midnight. Call us today at 217-483-6969.
Aaron, you're all set?
Great, thanks.
Mike, thanks for doing that discount double check. You saved us hundreds.
What was that?
The discount double check? It's when we comb through your policies to make sure that you're getting all the discounts you deserve.
No, I get that part, but you guys are doing my move.
The discount double check move?
It's my touchdown dance.
So you're a dancer?
No, I'm a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback.
More.
I'm a robot.
Where's your
Get out of here.
Get to a better state, State Farm.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Kids, breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
All right, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family. Welcome back to The Rush. I'm Eric Burklow here with the top 3 plays of Glenwood Sports this week. Let's fire out the countdown with play number 3 from the football game last Friday night against Springfield as Josh Talley meets a Springfield player on the sideline with a big boom. Now play number 2 is from the senior night volleyball game as senior Tosin Adene, who's heading to UConn, picks up a kill against the Rockets. Unfortunately, Glenwood fell 2-1. In the top player of Glenwood Sports this week is Brock Tobel, setting another hat trick, this time pacing Glenwood past Jacksonville for the regional title. Tobel also broke Glenwood's single scoring record of 28 goals for the top play. Now let's send it back to Danny, where he has the weekly debate.
Thanks, Eric. Here back on the set, we got the Lincoln Land Loggers, pride of Lincoln Land. I don't know if you want to say that. Okay, stop. Here, Dane Blakeman and Matt Burkhart. Guys, thanks for coming on for the debate here. And I started out trying to be Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, of course. And eventually it's evolved. I was told that I actually, one girl thought I was a girl trying to dress as a guy. And
That's what I thought.
A little too much. This hair also almost resembles my dad's hair in 1975 when he graduated here from Glenwood. And that was my other costume idea. I could have been him. But some people say I also look like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified, if you want to Google that, because I do kind of look like that here. But let's start the debate here, and Dane will start with you, then head down to Matt. Cardinals lose the World Series. We're both Cardinal fans. All of us are Cardinal fans here. They lose the World Series 4-2 in Boston last night. And what was the key element of this year's World Series?
I definitely think it was the discipline of hitting. I mean, you watch all postseason, what was Wainwright's success? Where did he get it? A lot of guys swinging and missing at balls in the dirt. Watch Walker, he was the same way.
And with runners in scoring position where the Cardinals dominated all season. They led the league.
Yeah, in Boston, they did a good job laying off of those pitches, just wait for one to get hung. And they'd get a double or a single, ball off the Green Monster. And the Cardinals, they swung at bad pitches. I remember Game 5, it was like Lester was going to the 8th inning with 75 pitches, and that just can't happen.
Matt, will go down to you. Why'd the Redbirds fall 4-2?
Well, it was all about timely hitting, and like you said, runners in scoring position. Our pitchers pitched well through throughout the whole playoffs, and when you are competing for a championship and you have runners, you have bases loaded, no outs, or first and second no outs, and you don't score a run. Especially when you're at Fenway, you're not going to win the game.
Well, yeah, and that was yesterday when they fell behind, or Wednesday, I should say, when they fell behind and were trying to come back, and they couldn't.
They do.
They did.
And then
bases loaded for Craig.
With Game 7 last night, Shane Victorino hits the
Game 6, we hope to try to.
Or, I'm sorry, Game 6.
Yeah.
When Shane Victorino hit the triple off the Green Monster and scored 3 runs and made it 3-0.
Momentum went the other way. But you had talking about Michael Walker, how amazing he has been in the postseason. And I kept saying, he's due for a bad game. And you know what? All of his good fortunes actually caught up to him.
Did you see the moment last night when he's walking off the mound and Molina kind of snapped at him because he had his head down?
Yeah, you gotta keep your head up.
That was a pretty cool moment.
But of course, some people might forget how the Cardinals got Walker. It was a compensatory pick. I think I'm pronouncing that right for Albert Pujols in a pretty good deal. When he went off to the Angels because he was worth so much money, they were able to afford him. So letting Pujols go was actually ended up being a good deal. Now, Matt, you were known as a Purdue Boilermakers fan. Right now, the Purdue football season not going so hot. What will the key be for your Purdue Boilermakers in football and basketball? But they only beat UIndy, who's in the GLVC, with UIS by 7 points last night. Is that a little bit of a scare? I am bringing this up.
No, because for one, we had 2 freshmen starting last night.
Hammonds was suspended, wasn't he?
One was a true freshman, one was a redshirt freshman. Our starting point guard and starting center. And our starting center, who usually plays the 4 because our big guy, our sophomore 7-foot AJ Hammonds, decided that he was going to get suspended for violation of team rules.
What did he do?
So he's out for 3 games. That's still for debate.
That's up for debate. Well, hey, we're here on the debate.
I think I know the answer.
He's out for 3 games. So not having doesn't matter who you play, not having your 7-foot center in there when you relied, when he scored 30-some points in all your big games last year.
That's enough Purdue. All right, enough Purdue. Enough Purdue. Last question: which NFL team is worse right now, the Bucks or the Jags? As we wrap up the show here, Dana.
Jags
are just terrible.
Defense, they don't have a defense.
They don't.
At least the Buccaneers can keep their team in the game.
Especially when the Broncos play them, they just destroyed them. Matt,
awful.
Bucks or the Jaguars?
The Jaguars
Worst
are
team.
definitely worse.
I think it's funny how NFL sent the Jaguars over to London to play.
Keep them there.
Keep them there, that's right. All right, guys, thanks for coming on here for this abbreviated debate. And that's it, guys. Thanks for coming on. That's it for this week's episode of The Rush. Travel down to Troy for the Triad Sectional Championship tonight at 5 o'clock. Also, head up to Peoria Stadium tomorrow for kickoff at 1 against the PND Fighting Irish. Stay classy.